your success in your renovations? Are you really allowing yourself every opportunity you have to be successful? Well, to talk about this tonight, we have with us Denise Duffield-Thomas from denisedt.com. So it's a big question, right?
It is. You know what? Because I work a lot with entrepreneurs and people who want to do something big in their lives. And what I find is that most people are competent enough, right? Most people know what to do.
Okay.
But there's something there that holds them back from doing those things. And it is fear.
That's a big F word, just saying.
It is.
It's a big, dirty F word.
And I say the F word a lot.
You haven't yet.
No. Oh, that's true.
Good point.
But fear is the biggest thing that's going to hold you back from creating success in any area of your life. And, you know, it could be that you've even had opportunities pass you by because you were too scared. So what I find, I see people and they're just kicking themselves over and over again.
Because regret's much more bitter to taste than fear.
It's horrible. And what I find that people who are successful are the people who, they still have the fear, by the way.
Fear doesn't go away.
No, they still have it. They just find a way to move forward.
That's interesting, actually. I really like the fact that you just said that. So a lot of people say to me, I don't know how you can renovate the way you do, or even if it's on my own home or on my projects, aren't you scared? And it's like, fear is still ever present in all of our lives and just in different forms and manifests in very different ways. Yeah. And so it's really about learning how to lean into that fear, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I've got a few ways that I work around my fear.
Right. Share them. Let's go.
So, for example, at the moment, I'm writing my third book. And writing a book is one of those projects. It's kind of like having a baby.
It's a big badass
or
project.
Renovating a house. Like it has a start and an end date. So the first thing that I did when I was writing this book is I got a coach.
Okay.
So I think accountability is so important to help you with the fear.
It's huge.
Because every week I've got to give 2 chapters to my coach.
Okay.
Right? So when you have somebody in your life who can help you, who can mentor you, who can show you the path, it's like it breaks it up into little bite-sized pieces and you're not as scared because you've involved someone else.
Is it also a little bit of an insurance policy as well?
Yes.
Like you feel that that's nowhere as near a drop to fall from because someone's going to catch you. Like You're never going to get to 1 week before your submission date and have no chapters written.
Well, hopefully not.
Yeah.
But it's the same with having a coach, having that accountability. It's having someone who has been there and who can help you.
Yeah.
Which you guys are so lucky because you have Naomi. She has renovated over 100 properties, is that right?
Yeah, 114 now.
So she kind of knows what she's talking about. So when you have someone like Naomi in your life, you're not as scared. It doesn't feel like this big thing that no one has ever done, ever. It's like, she's like, oh, well, you do it this way, you do it this way, you do it this way. And it's okay. So that's my first point, is to have a mentor. But the second way to overcome the fear is to not reinvent the wheel.
That is so important, Denise.
Yes.
So much of the time, especially when we're a creator, when we're a renovator, we want to contribute and transform and see something before our eyes. And this is some of that. We've talked about money blocks before, and it has to be hard. People are like, right, I'm going to go all the way back to basics and I'm going to engineer this, I'm going to plan this all myself. That
limits your success big time. First of all, you won't be able to do as many renovations as you'd like to.
Correct.
Because they'll probably take way more time than you thought. Yep. But also, you're going to make so many mistakes. So I always invest in someone else's system, whatever project I'm doing, because I know that there's so much benefit in not reinventing the wheel and learning from other people's mistakes, because then they've paid to make those mistakes.
You're learning on someone else's dime.
Well, exactly.
Really?
And when I think of, your rapid renovation formula, it's like, why would you bother trying to find everything out from scratch when you can just follow a system? And sometimes the fear comes up. It's like, well, I can't afford to invest in that.
Yep.
Oh my God. That's where you're limiting your growth, because you will then make the mistakes on your own dime instead of someone else's.
You're very direct, Denise.
No, I am, because I just know the value of a system to help you grow quicker. Is the biggest
and
thing.
Easier. And that's, I think, a bit of your romance, money personality, isn't it?
Yes.
You're
I'm
a bit
very
romantic. Well, you could reframe that from lazy to clever, ease and flow.
Definitely.
That's a really good way to reframe that. All right, so the first one is
mentor.
The mentor, helping dispel your fear. The second one is not reinventing the wheel.
Yes.
What's your third?
Outsource. Don't do everything yourself.
You mean I didn't need to demolish the concrete slab myself?
No.
There would have been like a young, strapping female or male that would have done it cheaper probably and more effectively than me.
Well, that's the thing. You don't always think it's cheaper at the start, but it always ends up that way, that it's so much cheaper because your time is really valuable. And also, how many mistakes do new renovators make by trying to do things themselves, which then costs them time and money?
And so what's the way that you work out what to outsource then? Because some people go, but I love breaking up the concrete slab, Naomi, don't make me outsource that. So is there like, I guess, a formula where you go, I know you're going to say I outsource everything, aren't you?
I do. I outsource everything in my life and
that you
my
don't
business.
enjoy?
Yes, and that I'm not getting paid for. So I know that's tricky on a renovation because you think, well, I'm not getting paid for any of this yet.
Not until the end.
No, exactly. But it still applies. It's like, what is your time worth compared to someone that you can bring it in who can do it so much quicker and cheaper than you? And also, sometimes new renovators, they try and do things and then it costs more money because they break something.
You know, that's so true. I remember one of the first houses I ever demolished and I'm like, oh, I can do it. I can swing a sledgehammer. I can totally do this. I actually did more damage to the substrates and more damage to the frame that cost me more money in the end to get repaired before I could renovate.
Yes.
And so that's, I guess, about learning as well, which comes with a mentor and which comes with a great mastermind team around you.
Absolutely, because it's not just outsourcing the tradies, it's outsourcing the advice and the system. Because I remember when we were renovating one of our houses and I just didn't know what I didn't know. And I didn't even know the order that you should do things in. You know, like, should we do the floor first? Should we do the walls? I had no idea. And that could have cost me so much money if I hadn't paid for advice, expert advice to tell me. And that is always worth paying for. So if you're trying to do everything yourself, like literally do things yourself, but also planning out yourself and just being alone in it, not having a mentor, not having a system, not having a community. It's really going to limit both the amount of renovations you can do in a year, but also how much money you can make out of each one. So
and they go hand in hand.
Definitely.
Because volume, so the more profit you make in each and the more you can do, actually just all ends up in your bottom line.
Absolutely.
I like it. So there's 3 ways that if the big F word is creeping and lurking like a boogeyman around the corner in your renovating dreams and that you're really wanting to grow that success and kick that fear to the curb, there's 3 ways you can do it. Thanks for sharing, Denise.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us for On the Couch Sunday. I'll be back on Wednesday with more DIY tips, but make sure that you subscribe and hit the like button so you never miss an episode.